Today down in the comments, real simple, the time is almost upon us. I want to hear what you're doing for Halloween, what you're doing to get in the mood for Halloween, what you're doing decorating-wise, what you're doing attraction-wise, what you're doing party, trick-or-treating, all that kind of stuff. Hello, I'm Adam Caesar. This is Project Black T-Shirt, the channel where we usually talk about horror movies and then pair them with horror books that you will enjoy reading if you like those movies. Make sure you like and subscribe to go view all my other videos like that and go check those out. But today, as I've done for three Halloweens running right now, I want to talk about Lemax, Spooky Town, the little ceramic houses that you can find around Michael's and other craft stores around Halloween. This year, in this household, we've kicked it up a notch, and I've actually built a display table for the Spooky Town. The collection's gotten so big, I used insulation foam and paint and the Lemax, the flocking textured kind of ground and grass that they sell. I'll put some video up as I talk about this, about that process. I did a TikTok of it too, which is real quick, but really had a great time doing that this year. And this year I've got three new houses, three new pieces from Lemax that I want to show for you, that I want to unbox. And as we do that, we'll just kind of talk about some reading recommendations, some newer books that I think are getting a lot of buzz this Halloween, and some that aren't getting buzz, and some that I think you should look into. So we'll do that, and we'll just have a chill, nice video where I open up boxes. So let's do that. All right, the first one I want to unbox and talk about is, what is this thing called? This is the Ghostwriters Antique Bookstore. I'm not sure why I, of all people, would want the Ghostwriters store, the bookstore, in my Lemax Spooky Town display, but I really wanted it. So let's open this one up, see what it looks like. And at the end of this video, I will take a nice video of the town all set up and all lit up, so you can see what it looks like and what these pieces look like in the actual village that we've got going. You want to be careful when you open these. If you haven't bought one of these before, if you don't have any of these, don't throw this out. Don't throw the packaging out. Don't throw the styrofoam out, because it's actually cut to each one. It's got this Velcro strip that you undo, and it has a label top and bottom, so you cannot break little pieces off of your houses as you take them out. This is a really nice one. Look at the detail there. Look at this little Grim Reaper standing on the corner looking to buy books. And the street sign, this is actually on the corner of Deadline Drive and Foreshadow Street. Deadline Drive, I actually can't think of a scarier street for something to be located. This is one of those ones that just has a single light bulb. It's got the bulb in the back, lights up nice. Really, really cool. Like horror reading at 3 a.m. I've had some terrible reading slots too, so that makes sense. Welcome, and there's a little skeleton guy in there. That's probably Stephen King. To pair with the Ghostwriters Antique Bookstore, I want to talk about My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a fantastic book. This is probably the most buzzed about book of the season. No pun intended, My Heart is a Chainsaw. I'm pairing it with the Ghostwriters Antique Bookstore because Stephen Graham Jones is very much, in a lot of ways, the horror writer's horror writer. He is absolutely encyclopedic in his knowledge. He is absolutely unbelievably prolific. His big hit book was The Only Good Indians, which came out last year. But he has so many other books for you to check out and so many other books for you to read that if you just came to him with his last book and you're looking forward to this one, I would very, very much recommend going into his back catalog and reading It Came from Del Rio and Demon Theory and The Ones That Got Away, which is my very, very favorite short story collection, single author short story collection. I love that book. But he's always been good. He's always been great. And My Heart is a Chainsaw is maybe his masterpiece, or his latest masterpiece, I should say. Fantastic, fantastic book. I've seen people talking about it as like a love letter to the slasher, but I think it is a little bit more complicated than that, because it is playing with slasher conventions in a very interesting way, has a character that is very knowledgeable about slashers and trying to figure out a mystery that who knows if she's even correct and this is a mystery. It's really, really fantastic. Just beautifully written. Great book. All right, next, this year's big boy, the big boy this year. This is Black Raven Manor. A year ago, last year, this was a Michael's exclusive, but now it's kind of everywhere. Michael's has every year with Lemax and Spooky Town, they have one or two that are exclusive to them, and they get them for a year, and then after that they kind of go into wider circulation. But this thing is sweet. So this one in the daylight actually doesn't look like much because it's kind of your traditional haunted house. It looks very colorful. I like the color palette of it, but I'll show you in the video later. Where this thing really cooks is once it's lit up, because it has lights and sound and motion, and this giant whirling ball of ghosts, this like king rat of ghosts, swirls around, and it's really, really neat. Kind of a neat purple color. And there's you'll also see when I set it up, there's little ravens that are on a spindle, and they just fly around. So it's called the Black Raven Manor, and it includes actual ravens. And the next book for your Halloween reading list, Rachel Harrison's Cackle. I've talked about Rachel Harrison's first book, The Return, in other videos. I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of the best debut novels I've ever read. It is scary as hell, and it has awesome body horror elements to it, and really a strong emotional core about like female friendship and just friendship in general. But it's a fantastic, fantastic book. And Cackle is incredibly different. It is the weirdest literary follow-up in a lot of ways that I've ever seen, even though they're both horror-ish books. Cackle is about a woman who takes a job. She was living in New York City. She went to school in New York City. She's kind of post-college. She's been in this long-term relationship with this guy that she breaks up with. She thinks they were going to go all the way, but he didn't love her as much as she loved him. And she moves to this weird town upstate to take a teaching job, take a really thankless teaching job in this kind of almost picturesque tourist town where she meets a new friend, a new kind of bestie, who has this, well, it's Cackle, it's witch-themed. She has powers. It's a very, very kind of funny book, kind of, the menace is pretty low level for most of the book, but it does have a great kind of Halloween-y theme to it. The witch friend has kind of control, dominion over spiders, and they're like her little helpers. It's really fun, really funny, really incisive in the same way that The Return was about kind of like relationships and people, but the rest of it is so different. The rest of the tone is so different. But really, really recommend picking it up. I think it comes out right at the beginning of October, maybe October 5th. This is an ARC. I got an early version of it. But yeah, very, very much recommend for Halloween reading. Just grab this and start reading. All right, and last but certainly not least, the most on brand of the Spooky Town pieces that I have this year. Ooh, look at this thing. Carnival of Carnage. The Carnival of Carnage. It's like a 1, 2, 3. It's like a 3-tiered big top kind of evil clown, evil carnival thing. This thing's awesome. Let's open it up. Here it is in all its gory glory. Now, this doesn't have motion, but it does have lights, and they're really cool, kind of like red and blue lights, where most of the lights are like purple or green in a lot of the other Spooky Town things I have. But this thing is awesome. It's got that shoot a clown, you know, like the carnival game where you shoot the water in the clown's mouth and it blows up the balloon. It's got that on the bottom there. It's got this guy with like a kind of like Wheel of Fortune thing at the top. It's just really, I love the way I love the sculpt here. Look at that. The side door has like a clown's mouth. It's pretty awesome. Pretty great. Like there's a skeleton who's also a juggler at the back. Pretty cool. It's got like piles of candy corn. Just very seasonal and very cool, and very evil clown centric. Because look at that guy right there, which I love. What book can I possibly pair with the Carnival of Carnage? Oh, it's Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Caesar. If you haven't picked this up yet, yes, I know I'm self-promoting. I wrote this book. Clive Barker called me an author who knows how to make us afraid. It's literally, that blurb is going on my tombstone. You can mark my words. I've already got it written out in my will. I'm promoting this not just because it's Halloween, not just because I want to sell books and I think you should buy it, but at the end of December, there's going to be a paperback version of this. And in that paperback, there is going to be a chapter sample, the first chapter from Clown in a Cornfield 2, Friendo Lives, and I want you guys to be ready. when the sequel comes out, because I just handed it in like the day before I'm filming this video. I'm so incredibly proud of it. Everyone who's talked about this book on YouTube, everyone who's talked about this book on TikTok, everyone who's gone to Amazon and left a review, thank you so much. You're the only reason I got to write a sequel, and I'm incredibly proud of the sequel, and I'm incredibly proud of this book. It won the Bram Stoker Award for young adult fiction, for young adult novel last year, and I'm so proud of it, and I'm probably going to put my Bram Stoker Award in my Spooky Town because it fits, it makes sense. Thank you so much, and please check it out. It is a slasher. It is a whodunit slasher. So if you like Scream, if you like I Know What You Did Last Summer, if you like the older slashers like Friday the 13th, there's something for every generation of slasher fans in this book. And I really hope you enjoy it. There you have it, 3 books to check out for this Halloween. 3 haunted houses that I just put in my Spooky Town. I'm probably gonna lay video over this or something like that. If you like this video, please hit like. If you really like this video, please subscribe. If you want more information about Spooky Town or where to get them, I have links in the description. I have links to my own website with my own books on it. And I'll put the links to the other books and where you can get them. Down there. So thank you so much. Thank you. Have a happy Halloween, and I'll be back sometime next week or the week after with some regular content, some regular talking about horror movies and pairing them with horror books.